report back through the monitor on the progress of assessing and adopting those recommendations.
Understood. With all due respect, I understand that, but you do admit that you have a legal obligation to comply with the consent decree. And you do admit that pursuant to that consent decree, a federal court monitor was appointed. Yes?
Yes.
Thank you. Okay. In January, Commissioner, you issued a news release that says 1,000 officers have returned back to work, marking a, quote, significant shift in the right direction. Yet the monitor, pursuant to the Nunes consent decree, said that despite staff members who returned to work, more than 2,000 remain unavailable at this time. On top of that, in January of this year, there were 6,000 medical appointments that were missed. Do you believe that incarcerated people have a basic civil right to access adequate medical care?
Yes, I believe everybody should have access to adequate medical care. Okay. I wish they had it in their communities.
Well, we're talking about Rikers in particular under your watch. How do you explain whether incarcerated people's basic civil right to adequate medical care is being met when there are 6,000 missed medical appointments in January? Do you believe that their civil rights are being met?
I believe that we're doing everything we can to make sure that those that need to seek medical attention are getting it, and we've increased staffing in order to make sure that we meet the needs for medical appointments that are scheduled.
Well, 6,000 medical appointments missed, I don't think qualifies as doing the best that you can in an agency. My next question for you is, the monitor also indicated that an investigator, Serena Townsend, had been fired, after being asked to get rid of 2,000 discipline cases against officers within 100 days. Did you notify the monitor of her termination?
I did notify the monitor, and I did not ask her to dismiss 2,000 cases.
The monitor's report specifically states that it had not been alerted to her termination. Well, now, my next question for you.
Her termination was a personnel decision, and it was among several leadership personnel decisions that I made since joining the department. And
thank you.
Based on the monitor's report.
Next question. Thank you. I just wanted to ask yes or no if you noted the monitor.
For a long time.
The report specifically states you had to note the monitor. My next question for you is between July 20 and July 2021. Your report from DOC states that 11 people were transferred to ICE custody pursuant to detainers. Did you have a judicial warrant for any of these 11 people?
Councilmember Krishnan, with respect to the issue of ICE and detainers, there are specific protocols in place at the Department of Correction and the review process.
I'm just looking for, I understand, I'm just looking for a yes or no. Did you have a judicial warrant for the 11 people who were transferred to ICE custody?
I can't speak to that directly, but I can say that the practices that we have are consistent with the—
Thank you. I look forward, and I'd ask the agency to please provide the information as to whether 11 people who were transferred to ICE custody had a judicial warrant for their transfer. I look forward to receiving that information. My next question is, the monitor under the Nunes report has specifically reported a deeply troubling lack of open and transparent communication between the corrections department and the monitoring team, that they're not able to receive that the department had stopped tracking data on absenteeism, and that the monitoring team is not receiving data. In fact, the direct quote from the report is, the monitoring team is incredibly disappointed to report that it has lost confidence that it has access to all of the relevant and reliable information necessary to perform its duties. Are you providing as an agency all the information that the monitor is requesting?
So we will provide information to the monitor on a daily basis. General Counsel, can you just talk about the number of, voluminous of information that we provide the monitor? But I will also say that there are points in time where there are things that are not specific to the consent judgment. And sometimes we need to consult not only with department legal staff, but with the law department on those issues.
The federal monitor appointed by the consent decree, which you testified earlier, you're under legal obligation to comply with. That monitor has stated that it is not able to receive the relevant and reliable information to perform its duties, and has lost confidence in the relationship between the corrections department and the monitor appointed pursuant to a federal court order. Despite that lack of communication, despite you testifying that you're under legal obligation to comply with the consent decree, the monitor states that it has lost confidence in its ability to receive information to perform its responsibilities pursuant to that court order. We have no information on many things that we asked for today. You are spending over $500 million per incarcerated person at Rikers Island. Your budget has not been cut. And you come in front of this committee with little to no answers and want to say that under your leadership, the situation at Rikers Island is being addressed and resolved in direct contravention of what the federal monitor has been stating. I find that shocking. No further questions. Thank you.